the Aeldari with their fate dice, I mean, it's quite powerful for the combat patrol simply because you have the same amount as for the regular games.
Yes.
In 9th edition it was scaled, like depending on how many points, it was like, I believe, from 6 to 12.
I think that in combat patrol mode it could be like 6 dices instead of 12.
Yes, or even, let's say, 8.
Yes.
But yeah, it's quite... I mean, you don't have so many powerful weapons to use on, because in combat patrol you can't use it on the Wraith Lord, so
Really?
they kinda, you know, optimized it that
Yes.
way, balanced it, but you still have many dice to, you know, to simply add up
Yes.
to pass every save you need, or, you know,
Yeah,
play
it's
very little game.
it's like super powerful rule, but considering that the units that you get in combat patrol, it's not over the top.
Yes.
It's not broken, I think.
Yes.
It's very annoying for the other player.
Yes, it's mostly annoying. It's
Yes.
not like game change. Although sometimes it can be, because, well, if there is a unit that I need to get rid of from an objective, you can simply, you know, use all your dice rolls for that phase.
Yes.
But you know that.
And what do you think if we should use the rules from the regular 40k and limit the use to 1 dice per phase, or was it okay today?
I think it was pretty okay. I think as long as Games Workshop doesn't change the combat patrol rule, which they very well may never do.
Yeah, I think they
until the codex probably.
Yeah.
I think we can stay with. But this is questions to you guys more. Do you want us to play the way that it started, so you can use all your fate dice rolls
in 1 phase?
in one phase, in one turn?
Yes.
Or do you think we should adapt the general version? Because you don't have so many good weapons, it's mostly for saves.
Yes.
So, and you were doing it anyway, that 1 die and then save per unit, so it was still several times per phase, but it wouldn't be as big of a nerf, I think, because many of those saves you would save anyway.
Yes. But please let us know.
Yes, it's question to you guys.
We will just adjust our way of playing to your opinions.
Yes, I think that Drukhari and Aeldari, they simply have very powerful combat patrols in terms of content.
Yes.
The Drukhari one is just amazing because they have 2 very fast vehicles, and each of those vehicles have quite decent weapon. They went with the disintegrators, which I think are actually more useful in combat patrol games, because they have more shots, they have damage 2, strength 5, AP -2. They were perfect against your bikes. So this was one instance when the fate dice really saved you. And yeah, like, they have quite powerful rules also, quite powerful stats, mostly speed. And the Aeldari, the Wraith Lord, I mean, he's a tank. He's not a vehicle, but he is a tank.
Yes, but I think that one thing that is limiting him very much is his hitting on 4+.
Yes,
And
both
like,
with shooting and
yes.
fighting.
And it's like okay, but it's not like super terrifying.
To be fair, he does not have eyes, so it's perfectly understandable that he hits on 4-ups, and he still is plenty powerful in my opinion. But then again, he is both hitting on 4-ups and he can't use the fate dice, but he's there mostly to, you know, to have a unit that will survive anything.
Yes.
Because with toughness 11, 10 wounds, 2-up save, he really can hold on very long.
Yes, but anyway, my favorite unit is Wind Riders, because I just love moving fast on the board. It's just like my way of playing, and they are perfect. And the fact that you can split them into 2 units, which is like no-brainer for this format, is just a perfect way to grab objectives, to control the board. Yes. So
compared to Grey Knights, which can have like 2 units total.
Yeah.
We will talk about Grey Knights after their second game, because that's interesting army.
Yes.
Yeah, Farseer was also super powerful. The fact that he can on 2-up give -1 to wound, that was as annoying as the fate dice.
Yes. But I think that the most broken thing is his enhancement,
Yes, for
because you can
Overwatch.
use it every turn on a big unit of 10 models, and you do Overwatch 4 plus on objective and 5 plus anywhere on the board.
And you do it for free.
Yes. So I think it's just too much stacked over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too much. It's very good for Tau. It's less good for anyone else. But
Yes.
I still think that Imperial Guard may win the race for the most OP stacked together buffs. But we'll get to them quite soon.
Yes, in
Just
Group
after-
D.
Just after Black Templars and Sisters. So
Yes.
Peter will need to finish painting those. I'm already preparing Astra Militarum. By the way, I had to remade one of the heavy weapons because I assembled them earlier before the rules were known, and I do 2 bombasts, and one of them is the Maleus rocket pod, so I had to just take a knife and cut it open because the glue was so strong.
And
and massacred it, but it looks decent.
And I, on the other hand, don't care so much.
Yeah.
So the Reflord was already built before the Combat Patrols rules. But I don't play Eldar so
You
often.
don't even know what
I don't
weapons-
know what weapons. I think it's plasma something, but I don't know.
Yeah, this is plasma. This is, I believe, the rocket launcher. So you don't even have the proper weapon.
Yes, so sorry for that, but
I will convince Peter to readjust. I need to remake 4 Havocs, 3 Havocs, because I made them all with las cannons and autocannons, and I believe everyone has a single different weapon, but I will remake them because I'm determined. Also, I lied to you guys, because the first game after Black Templars versus Sisters will be actually Necrons versus Dark Angels, and I'm already finishing my Necrons, which means I sprayed them with lead belcher. But yeah, it's supposed to be the game talk about this game, so I just want to add about the Drukhari. I think... Do you think which combat patrol is more powerful?
no, it's hard to say.
Exactly. Even though the Aeldari has some powerful rules, the Drukhari one is...
I think they were fairly matched.
Yes, I think...
Because it depends on the mission, who is starting the game. I think both of them could win.
I'm very curious about how they will fare in the next games, but they're in the same group as Space Marines and AdMech.
Yes, Black Templars to be exact.
Oh, right. So
Adepta
yeah.
Sororitas and
Oh,
Black
okay.
Templars.
So they actually might have interesting matchups against Adepta Sororitas, because the Adepta Sororitas also have very rich in content combat patrol.
Yes.
The Black Templar one is also one of my favorites. I mean, it's not as many units, but they are Space Marines, and they have Impulsor, so a fast vehicle.
Yes.
So they may have actually quite nice...
I think it will be a very even group.
Yeah, it's the death group. It's definitely one of the most powerful. All the super combat patrols are in one group, which is exciting on one hand, but on the other it's sad that some of the cool ones may not leave the group, because only, well, 2 and a lucky loser.
Yes.
Some lucky losers, so maybe 3 will get out. Yeah, I hope for Drukhari, because again, this was my first combat patrol, the one I just bought because of the contents.
Yes.
It's so amazing.
Yes, and
they're
in
still
terms
powerful.
of models, it's, I think, a perfect combat
Yes.
patrol.
What I don't like is their army rule, but I think it's the same problem I have with it in the regular game, but in regular game you have simply more opportunities. I only get pain tokens for killing or breaking your unit. So you need to fail leadership, which you did 0 times during this game,
Yes.
or I need to kill your unit, which in combat patrol there are not many on your side, and only then I can get a pain token. I think that considering how wicked Drukhari are, you should be getting for losing your own units,
Yes.
which would be balancing thing, because I only got 4 pain tokens through the whole game, and I couldn't even use the last 2 ones because yeah, I didn't have opportunity. And I can only use it in movement or charge phase for reroll, advance or charge, or I can use it in shooting or fight phase for reroll to hit. And my problem is, and maybe guys you have some other interpretation, because I can use it any phase, so I can use in your phase obviously.
Yes.
But if I fire Overwatch in the movement phase, based on the phase, I get the empowered in movement phase, so I can reroll advance or charge rolls. So even if I use the pain token during firing Overwatch, rules as written I can't get reroll to hits. Unless you interpret it that when you're firing Overwatch, you're firing just like a...
It's like a question, do we follow rules as written or as intended?
Yes.
Because I think that intention might be the other way.
Might be that I reroll. But then it would be quite powerful and useful for me because, well, Overwatch with rerolling everything would be useful. Still not as good as 4-ups to hit, but quite decent anyway. Yeah, so yeah, I hope you guys like the game. Tell us what you think about the Aeldari situation with the Strands of Fate, and do you agree that we should... well, not agree. What's your stances on Fate dice and Power from Pain? My question is, can I use Power from Pain when firing Overwatch? Because that would be very helpful. And the other one is just simply an opinion. Should they be getting pain tokens for losing their own units?
Yes.
I think, well, in the previous edition, World Eaters were getting for lost units because, well...
Corn doesn't kern.
Yeah. So here should be similar, like they shouldn't care, and it's Power from Pain, so they should be getting from their own pain. Yeah, so...
But all in all it was a really fun game.
Yes.
And I think both armies are just pleasurable to play.
Yes, and they're very nicely painted.
Yeah.
I think that they're very pleasing to watch colors.
Yeah, I hope it looks good on the camera.
Well, I will do some B-roll, so you will see some of those models hopefully at close-ups. Yeah, and it was actually one of the better games. Do you prefer this one or the one with Tau?
Tau and Death Guard.
Yes, you prefer that one or this one?
I thought you were asking our viewers.
Well, you too. Which game did you prefer? The Tau versus Death Guard or Aeldari versus Drukhari?
It's a tough question because both armies have like good rules and they really complement each other. But I think that overall Aeldari are more rounded. Like, you know, Tau is just shooting.
Yes.
And in Aeldari you have Wrath Lord, who is also really good in fighting. So I think that for this fact I prefer Aeldari a bit more, yeah. But Tau is just crazy in shooting.
Yes, yes. And Tau does not need enhancement to fire Overwatch on 4-ups.
Yes.
And they also have other strong enhancement. But I agree, yeah, when looking at the rules I was thinking like, yeah, it's similar level as Tau. Yeah, I also think I prefer this game because, you know, it was very fast and on the edge of the knife kind of thing, so really nice game. And now question to you guys, which game so far is your favorite? It doesn't have to be Drukhari versus Aeldari or Death Guard versus Tau. If you preferred, for example, Chaos Demons beating Grey Knights, just let us know and tell us which game you are looking most forward to. So, you know, we can prepare it. Well, we will prepare it anyway because we are doing the whole tournament, but we will keep it in mind. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for staying with us and us, you know, waffling too much and talking nonsense, and see you in the next one. And I'm getting ready to do some painting videos when I finish my last armies and some tactics, because I mentioned it through the game, I believe, that I think that the Astra Militarum Combat Patrol is the most powerful one. It's almost like borderline broken
Okay.
rules, but also very swingy because if they don't start, they are a little exposed.
Okay, it would be hilarious if you do first a video about how broken they are, and then we play game and you lose.
Yeah, this would be hilarious. But I think I will do some more tactic videos.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys would be interested in that. And yeah, thanks for being with us and supporting us, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.